Araw mga kabarangay, nandito ulit si Sir Pops making another science grade 10 video for all grade 10 students out there and for some of the teachers who might be needing this video. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. So gagawa ulit tayo ng isa na namang video for today para sa ating Science 10. So the title of this video is Population Growth and Carrying Capacity. Yung last video natin, ang title niya is Quarter 3 Week 6.1 Adaptation and Survival in a Changing Environment. So today, we will be having this actually the last topic for the third quarter. No? Population growth, 6.2 siya. Now, let's have the introduction. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Please subscribe to this channel, Sir Pops TV. Marami siya mga videos dyan na pwede kayong matuto dito. Ito na, nakaprepare na nga yung fourth quarter science intro. No? Pinaghahandaan ko na rin yan. Ayan. Marami natin mga video dyan, tutorial. Okay? So, please subscribe. Keep watching, keep learning. Let's start. So, dito sa 6.2, Carrying Capacity Population Growth, tingin ko masasagot ito ng mga bata. Madali lang, no? Kasi, pwede naman tong i-research. Introduction, why should you care if the number of organisms is increasing or decreasing? Populations that are growing or diminishing can be an indicator of potential problems in the organism's environment. The increase in the number of individuals in a population is called population growth. The maximum population size in an environment can support is called its carrying capacity. So sana naintindihan niyo, no? Pag sinabi kasi natin population, it's just na hindi lang yan human population, no? Pwede yung population ng mga baka, ng mga baboy, ng mga manok, ng mga ibon, ng mga isda. So pwede yan. Now, if in the event that you are seeing that the population of the fish population ng isda na malapit sa inyo, dagat na malapit sa inyo ay bumababa hanggang sa time na wala nang mahuling isda, siguro may nangyayari na sa environment niya. Kaya nagkakaroon ng pagbaba ng populasyon or completely pagkawala ng species. What will happen if population size rises above the carrying capacity? No? Rises above the carrying capacity. Pag sinabi natin rises above, ito na yung overpopulated, no? Overpopulation. For you to understand how population of organisms affect biodiversity, the set of activities in the succeeding pages is set to be accomplished for 1 week of the third quarter. Ang MELC natin dito is explain the relationship between population growth and carrying capacity. So, dapat maipaliwanag ng mga estudyante natin kung ano yung relasyon ng population growth and carrying capacity. So, we have 6 objectives na makikita niyo rito. Ang dami, no? Medyo toxic to sa mga bata. Pero sige lang, last naman na. Huling LAS na to. Number 1, define population density and carrying capacity. Number 2, explain the factors that affect the carrying capacity and population growth. So, number 3, provide solutions to prevent the reduction of the carrying capacity of an organism. Number 4, describe exponential and logistic growth curve. Number 5, identify factors that affect population. And number 6, analyze the causes of the limiting factors to the population growth and predict their effects. So medyo marami yung objective, pero kaya niyo to grade 10. Kaya niyan. Now, sa activity 1 natin, look at me. Look at me. Direction, analyze the picture below, observe the number of population density in a certain community, and relate the population density. Write your answer in your answer sheet. So, ibig sabihin, ipapaliwanag nyo itong picture na to. No? So, dito, ilan ang population doon sa shaded part. Doon sa blue part, dito sa part na to. Tapos dito, ilan ang population dito. So, what is the difference between this one, dito sa maraming population, and dun sa kukunti ang population? Observe nyo yan, no? Kung hindi kayo makarelate, i-relate nyo lang sa tao. Tao naman talaga nakalagay dito, no? So, anong ibig sabihin yan? Okay? Pag sinabi natin, mamaya yung population density, i-describe natin yan. Okay. Activity 2. Discover me. Look at the 2 boxes below and compare the dots. What is your observation? So, first dot and second dot. So, anong meron sa first dot? Paano mo i-compare yung first box dun sa second box? No, anong ibig sabihin nun? Kung ito ay species ng mga hayop, halimbawa ng baka, sino dito ang mas matagal mabubuhay? Anong group, anong box dito yung mas okay yung pamumuhay nila? Okay, analyze me. Analyze the following situation, answer the question in each situation, write your answer in your answer sheet. Situation 1. The human population is currently growing at an exponential rate. How can this be explained in terms of birth rate and death rate? Birth rate. Papaliwanag mo lang yung human population, yung overpopulation in terms of birth rate and death rate. Pag sinabi natin birth rate, gaano karami nabubuhay, ano yung pagkakaiba ng rate ng birth at ng death. Bakit tayo overpopulated? Siguro, so dahil last na to, sabihin natin yung sagot na. Siguro, mas marami yung pinapanganak kaysa dun sa namamatay. Pero ngayon, sa COVID-19, hindi po ito nakakatawa, no? Mas marami po ang namamatay today sa panahon natin ngayon because of the COVID-19. So, mas mataas ang death rate niya kaysa sa birth rate. Kasi ang dami nang namatay, no? All over the world na ito. Next, the monkey-eating eagle is considered as endangered. What does this mean in terms of birth and death rate of a monkey-eating eagle? So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Ano ba ang mataas sa kanilang dalawa? Birth rate or death rate? Yan. Carry on. Example, activity number 4. Examine the graph below. Look into the number of goats corresponding to dates. Answer the following question. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Yung tanong mamaya pa Okay. Bali, observe mo lang to. No? May 1st, June 1st, August 1st, September 1st. Number of goats, 5, 20. Patay, malabo. 80, 100. 5, 20, 80, 100. So, ano nangyari? Nung May 1st, 5 sila. Nung June, parang tumataas yung bilang nila. And then, August to September, steady. Steady lang. No? Ano kaya ang ibig sabihin yan? Siyempre, meron yan. Follow the pattern. From the given set of data, the population of rats and grasshoppers, construct separate graph for each datum. Write your answer in your answer sheet. So, meron na kayong answer sheet dito. Gumawa ako ng ganito for my student. Ayan, parang graph na naka-incorporate na doon sa inyong answer sheet. Ilalagay nyo na lang. So, kopyahin nyo lang to. 1, 2, tapos explain nyo. No? So, gagawa nyo to ng ganito. Ayan. Ng graph. Pati itong population ng grasshopper. Now, let's go to dependent or independent. Dependent or independent. Ito, walang paliwanag to. Read each situation in the table below, then state if it is a density-dependent limiting factor or density-dependent limiting factor. So, lalagay mo dito kung density-independent or density-dependent. Write your answer in your answer sheet. So, bago tayo pumunta dito, so, maswerte yung mga nanonood ng video natin kasi sabihin natin yung sagot dito na. Tulungan ko kayo. So, dito, density-dependent, independent. Pag sinabi nating density-independent limiting factors, ito yung, pag sinabi nating limiting factors kasi, ito yung dahilan kung bakit nababawasan yung bilang o yung population ng isang species, no? Ng mga species. Halimbawa, etong COVID-19, nababawasan yung population natin. Limiting factor yon. Yan. So, ika-classify natin siya kung density-independent or density independent or density dependent. So, let's try this one. Let's try to analyze what is density independent. Pag sinabi natin density independent limiting factors that can stop a population from growing can be such as natural disasters, temperature, sunlight, and activities of humans in the environment. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ang cause kung bakit namatayan o nawala na nagkaroon ng death rate, no, ng death sa isang population, kapag ang dahilan niya ay natural disasters, temperature, sunlight, ibig sabihin density independent siya. So, halimbawa, lumindol, tapos maraming namatay dun sa lindol, ang cost niya, ang limiting factor niya ay density independent. Yan. Natural disasters such as tropical cyclone, floods, earthquakes, and fires will stop population from growing no matter how many organisms are living in a certain area. The same goes for the temperature of an area and the amount of sunlight it receives. If the temperature increases due to the global warming, this will cause a decrease in the population's number no matter how large or small the population was to begin with. Human activities that alter the environment will also decrease the number of organisms in a population regardless of the size of the population. So, pwede rin dahilan yung human activities, no? Ayan, density independent siya. Now, pag density dependent naman, limiting factors come into play when a population reaches a certain number of organisms. For example, when a population reaches a certain size, there won't be enough resources, food, shelter, water for all of the organisms. This could cause the population to stop growing when it reaches the maximum number of organisms that can be supported or carried by the number of environment. This number is known as the population's carrying capacity. Pag sinabi nating density dependent naman, pag naabot niya na yung kanyang carrying capacity, magkakaroon na ng paghinto ng pagdami, no? So, limiting factor na siya. So, halimbawa, sa isang kulungan, meron kang 20 na kambing or goat. So, dyan sa 20 na kambing sa goat na yan, enough yung pagkain na nakukuha nila sa lugar nila. So, makakapagparami sila. Yung pag dumami na yan, mag-aagawa na sila dun sa pagkain, wala nang chance na dumami pa ulit. So, limiting factor na siya. So, density independent. Ngayon, sagutin natin to based on what we have. Mrs. Rosales has 55 students in her biology class, but she has room for 50 because the room was crowded. The students were asked to go to the curriculum chairperson to change their schedule. Ano siya? So, 55 sila, naging 50 na lang. Density independent or density dependent. Ano kaya magiging sagot natin dyan? No? Anong sagot natin dyan? Density dependent or density independent? Okay. Now, the answer to that is this one. Kayo mag-reason out kung bakit, no? Density dependent. Bakit sinabing density dependent? Ayan, density dependent. Bakit sinabi niyang density dependent? Okay? So, density dependent kasi overcrowded sila. Tingnan natin. Kasi overcrowded sila, so, ibig sabihin, ang limiting factor niya ay density. Ang cost ng kanyang limiting factor is density dependent. Kasi nag-overcrowded na, wala nang pang-supply na upuan. Yan. Ang limiting factor niya. Yan. Now, dito sa limiting factor, ang ilalagay nyo, hindi kasi kompleto yun no? Dito naman sa limiting factor, meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng limiting factor. Ito yun. Pwede siyang competition for resources, immigration, diseases and parasites, and predation. So, that is population density. Limiting factors that depend on population density. Yan. So, ano kaya ang magiging sagot dito? Yan. Immigration. Kailangan ilipat o mag-migrate o mag-immigrate yung mga ibang estudyante sa ibang classroom. Okay? So, yan po yung ating answer. Now, next. Dinoflagellates in Laguna de Bay increase in population due to increase in organic substance in the body or in the body of water brought by water pollution. So, ano to? Nag-increase ang population. So, ibig sabihin, the answer to that is density dependent pa rin. Why? Because of hindi pa naaabot yung carrying capacity. So, ang kanyang limiting factor ay resources. So, tingnan nyo po dito ibig sabihin. No? So, madali naman ito intindihin. Competition for resources, ibig sabihin maraming resources, marami kang makukuha. Ito dahil sa sakit, nabawasan sila dahil sa sakit. Nag-migrate yung iba. At ito naman, predation. Yan. Migration, predation. Okay? Next natin. a new strain of dengue virus breaks out in the country. Density dependent or density independent? Tingnan natin. Ayan, density independent. Sorry, ito pala yan. Density independent. A new strain of dengue virus breaks out in the country. So, human activities, no? Itong dengue outbreak. Human. Kasi kung hindi naman yan human, ito human activities. Next natin, super typhoon Yolanda caused minor residents to leave Leyte. So, ano to? Density dependent or density independent? Natural resources ito. So, ibig sabihin, density independent siya. So, dahil nawala ang mga puno dyan sa Leyte, ibig sabihin, human siya. Human ang kanyang cause. Natural disaster pala. Sorry. Next. Population of wild boar decreases of deforestation. So, ano to? Human activities pa rin. Density independent, human activities. An increase in population of house lizard in Barangay Himpot. Ano siya? Density dependent and predation. No? Dumadami ang mga butiki. Causes a decrease in the population of mosquitoes. So, predation siya. Now, next natin. Analysis. Ito na yun. Lahat ng activity na pinagagawa natin sa taas, ito yun siya. Answer the following question. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Based on activity number 1, what can you say about the population density of the people in the pictures? Ito yun. People in the pictures. Population density. Pag sinabi natin population density, population density, ito yung gaano ka-dense yung mga tao yan. Density. Population density refers to the number of organisms per unit area. If a population density is very high, that means there are a lot of organisms crowded into a certain area. So, ibig sabihin dito, crowded na siya kasi overpopulation. So, density. If a population's density is low, that means that there are very few organisms in an area. So, makapaliwanag niyo to through this one. Crowded, few organisms. Next natin, what could be the probable reason why some areas have lower population density than the others? Ano kaya sa tingin niyo yung dahilan? Halimbawa, bakit mas maraming tao sa Metro Manila compared to the province, no? Bakit dito konti lang ang tao? Bakit sa Manila maraming tao? Ganun. Why is there a small area with high density population? So, siguro kung sa atin pa, sa mga tao, mas maraming trabaho dun. Kaya dun sila nagpupunta. What is population density? Sinabi ko na kanina. What are the difference between the number of and arrangement of the circle in the boxes A and boxes B? So, what is the difference between box A and box B in terms of the number of circle? If boxes A and B represent two different ecosystems and the circle represents the organisms in each ecosystem, what are the difference between the number and distribution of organisms in each ecosystem? What do you think will happen to the ecosystem represented by box B if the number of organisms continues to increase? Ano kaya ang mangyayari? Based on activity number 4, what did you notice with the population of goat between mid and May? Ito yung sa graph. No? What did you notice with the population of goat from August to September? What could explain this? What is carrying capacity? What affects the carrying capacity of an organism? Kung mapapansin nyo rito, pag sinabi nating carrying capacity, dumadami ang population kasi sagana sila sa pagkain, sa tubig, no? Sagana sila sa resources. Ngayon, kung dadami sila, maghahatian sila dun sa mga resources. So, ibig sabihin, mapuputol na yung pagdami nila kasi naabot na nila yung carrying capacity. Based on activity 5, describe the population of rats. Ito yung gagawan nyo ng sarili nyong curve o ng sarili nyong graph. What is the shape of the graph? What do you call this growth curve? B. What does the graph show on the population of grasshopper? What is the shape of the graph? What do you call this growth curve? How would it affect the carrying capacity? Explain the relationship between population growth and carrying capacity. So, nandito siya. Pag sinabi natin, ito yung magiging dapat makita nyo doon sa graph. Ayan. Okay? So, swerte na may mga libro. Nasa libro na ito siya. Okay. Topic, while the populations, Activity 6, what situation was where brought about by human activities? What does this tell us? What happens when there is an increase of organic substance in the body of water? What will you do to solve the problem? What possible solutions can you think to limit population growth? What are the effects of population growth? Alam nyo bang ang monkey-eating eagle ay once a year lang nangingitlog? Once a year siya nangingitlog. Ngayon, kung papatayin mo kung i-hunt natin ang monkey-eating eagle, mahihirapan na siyang dumami kasi once a year nga lang siya. Hindi kagaya ng tao na every 9 months siyang nanganganak. No? Yun. So, ito once a year. So, kung tatanggalan natin siya, kung i-hunt natin siya, kung tatanggalan natin siya ng kagubatan para tirahan, mawawala siya. Mawawala yung kanyang uri or yung species. So, ano gagawin mo para makatulong? While populations would probably continue to grow in size, a population of organism cannot grow forever. Ito na yung kailangan nyo, grade 10 student lang. Ito yung mga information na kailangan nyo. Its growth will be limited or stop at some point, and the death rate will be greater than the birth rate. Population density refers to the numbers of organisms per unit area. If a population density is very high, that means there are a lot of organisms crowded into a certain area. Density-dependent limiting factors can stop a population from growing, such as natural disasters, temperature, sunlight, sinabi na ito kanina. While density-dependent limiting factors come into play when a population reaches a certain number of organisms, like when a population reaches a certain size, there won't be enough resources like food, shelter, and water for all the organism. This could cause the population to stop growing when it reaches the maximum number of organisms that can be supported or carried by the environment. Ganoon naman talaga, di ba? Halimbawa sa squatters area. So, halimbawa siksikan yung mga tao doon. So, ang mangyayari dyan, pag nagkasakit ang isa, pwedeng mahawa yung iba. So, density-dependent limiting factors na yun. No? This number is known as the population's carrying capacity in a particular environment. Each population of organisms has a different carrying capacity depending on the amount of resources available in the area in which it lives. So, apply din to sa negosyo, no? So, may chicken farm kami. So, nakita namin na siksikan yung mga manok. Hindi mabubuhay ang mga manok sa kulungan na overcrowded. No? Pag maliit yung kulungan mo, dapat konti lang yung manok. Pag malaki yung kulungan mo, mas maganda, mas makakahinga yung mga alaga natin. So, ganun din dito. Carrying capacity. Meron tayong tinatawag na carrying capacity. Apply dito, no, sa lahat, sa mga bus na mga biyahe from Manila to provinces. Kapag ang carrying capacity ng bus ay nasobrahan, pwedeng may mangyari. Ito yung tinatawag na overloading. Before a population reaches its carrying capacity, it experiences a period of rapid growth. This period is called exponential population growth, resulting in a J-shaped curve. So, dahil maraming pagkain, dahil maraming resources, mabilis na dadami ang population. Pero after that, in a while, period, kaya tinawag na period lang kasi sandali lang siya, hindi siya tuloy-tuloy. Pagka naubos na yung resources, maghahati-hati na yung mga nabubuhay doon, wala na. Hindi na sila dadami. In logistic growth, population expansion decreases as resources become scarce or konti na lang. And it levels off when the carrying capacity of the environment is reached. The curve is S-shape. Ito yung tinatanong dito. Sa rats, anong curve yan? Based on the activity number 5. Yun yan. Now, dito, define the following terms: population density, carrying capacity, exponential growth, density independent limiting factor, and then enumerate at least 3 factors that affect population growth. differentiate exponential growth, and logistic growth. Ayan. Kapaliwanag nyo. Okay? So, all in all, yun yung inyong gagawin. So, madali lang to. Kayang-kaya nyo to. Pag hindi naintindihan, mag-research. Ibalik-balik yung video, no? Para maintindihan natin pare-parehas. So, please, subscribe to my channel, Sir Pops TV. Ulit. And maraming salamat po sa panonood. See you on my 4th quarter video. Thank you, guys.